Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta jana kalyani niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahma vidvaram. Om Badram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Badram Pashyemakshabiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagam Sastanubihi Vyasema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi Swasti no brihaspati'r dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Manohi dvividam proktam shuddham cha shuddhameva cha ashuddham kama sankalpam Shuddham kama vivarjitam mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho bandhaya vishayasaktam muktam nirvishayam smritam yato nirvishayasyasya manaso muktirishyate ato nirvishayam nityam Manakaryam mumukshuna nirasya vishaya sangam sanniruddham manohriti yadayatyatmano bhavam tata tatparamam padam tavadeva nirodhavyam yavad hridikaram shriyam etajnanam cha dhyanam cha Shesho nyayascha vistaraha Naiva chintyam na cha chintyam na chintyam chintyameva tat Pakshapata vinirmuktam Brahma sampatyate tada. This portion of the Upanishad is very abstract, as we have seen in the previous session. Contradiction is the nature of philosophy. Contradiction is the nature of philosophy. But that apparent contradiction, when it is understood, is inevitable in a relative plane. You understand the absolute cannot be explained without that contradiction. Can the eyes see light? Yes. Can it see dark? Yes. So what is the nature of the light? Eyes. Is it light or dark? It can see both. Right? So eyes are independent of the relative nature of the light and darkness. That is why in Bhagavan Krishna also many places he would say contradictory things. Apparently contradictory. When everybody is asleep, he is awake. When everybody is awake, he is asleep. Who? A man of wisdom, he is awake when everybody is asleep. And when everybody is awake, he is asleep. And when everybody is sleeping, he is awake. Also, one place you will say, everybody is in me and nobody is in me. If you understand, you understand. You will say such things like where one should stop his mind to define the truth as a knowable thing, objective thing. So, objective perception is always in the relative plane. Good, bad, right, wrong, high, low, tall, short, fat, thin. Right? This is relative. Are you fat or thin? If I ask you, what is your answer? Swamiji, don't ask such questions. No, you can compare to yourself. You are fat or thin now. You can. 2 years back, I was fatter than now. But don't compare me with somebody else. Are you tall or short? Depends. Right? Relative. If I am standing next to a person who is short, I am tall. If I am standing next to a person who is tall, I am short. Then what is your height then? Is it tall or short? Are you dark or white? Or dark or, what do you call? Are you intelligent or stupid? So all these are all in the relative plane. You cannot but have that. So here it is as naiva chintyam. Do not think. And then he says, na cha achintyam. Don't stop thinking. What does it mean? Raga bhavaya, raga rupena, raga vishaya rupena, na chintyam. Do not think of yourself, higher self, as a desirable physical object. Because then what happens? Then there is attachment happens. Asakti ho jata hai. So, are you attached to yourself? Are you? You are attached to your body. Because physical body can give you some amount of comfort, pleasure, etc. So you are attached to, or you feel like always. How many times you see yourself in the mirror? Because you like to see yourself in the mirror. So why it is so? Because it gives me happiness. So do not think of the self as a desirable object that gives you temporary joy. Don't think like that. Naiva chintyam. At the same time, about something or somebody whom we do not want to think. Dvesha rupena nacha chintyam. Something which I hate. Yesterday we were in a restaurant and the dal was given to us and nobody told me. Then I found my friend there. Oh. Eggplant. I don't want to think about this. Then I very graciously to the next person, you can have it. I don't want to go deeper into it and find out what all the things inside that. I don't want to think about it. So when something which you do not like, you don't want to think about it. In that way, don't stop thinking about Atman. See, it is said that in the case of, in the 17th chapter, 16th chapter, etc., when Bhagavan talks about the gunas, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, there he says, people who are tamasic in nature, they do not like the self, neither in themselves or in anybody else. That is why Hiranyakashipu, when he was told by Prahalada, the Lord I am worshipping, Narayana is in you as well as in me, in everything. He said, don't talk about him. Is it not? He destroyed and he wanted to kill his own son. His own son. Why? Because he is talking about something which he doesn't like. Or he is praising and worshipping something he doesn't like. So, nacha achintyam. That is not something which is disliked by you, which you do not want to think about. In that way, do not stay away from the self. So, naiva chintyam, nacha chintyam. Third thing is na chintyam, because it cannot be thought of. There is a difference between naiva chintyam and na chintyam. Naiva chintyam should not be thought about. Na chintyam is not thinkable. You can think about your body, you can think about what thoughts going on in your mind, emotion, feeling, but beyond that I cannot comprehend what it could be. It is like, now let us all think about silence. What do? You cannot think, you can only observe. Think of space without anything. How will you think of space? Think. In Zen Buddhism they talk about here to the clap of one hand. Come on, here. Clap of one hand. Imagine your face before your birth. What will you think? Mind will stop. So, what it means is that Vishaya Rupena, as an object, objectifiable, Indriya Gochara Vastu na, Manah Gochara Vastu na. It is not it is not comprehensible by the senses nor by the mind. Therefore, in that way, na chintyam. Na chintyam vastu atma. Na chintyam. So it is a qualifier. It is an adjective to the Brahman. Na chintyam Brahma. First one was instruction. Naiva chintyam, do not think. The second line is na chintyam. Atma na chintyam vastu. Anyway, I am not thinking about it. One would say, anyway, I am not thinking. No, nacha achintyam. Oh, chintyam eva tat. Chintyam atma. Meaning it should be thought of. So the student says, I think you didn't sleep well, my dear Guru. You're confusing me completely. Just before you said don't think, or it cannot be thought of. Na chintyam atma. Now you are saying chintyam eva. It should be thought of only. Meaning, without the mind focusing upon that, it cannot lose itself into that Brahman. Now, before you go to sleep, will you think about the sleep or not? I want to sleep. That thought comes to you, right? Especially teenagers don't come. So they keep on playing in this and that. But when you have really physically tired, I want to sleep. So the thought comes, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. But unless you have the desire to sleep, will you sleep? Unless you have the eagerness to go to that state, will you go? If you have other things to do, something to write or something to see, and then you can be busy without going to that. But at some point of time, enough of it. I just want to sleep. Then only the whole personality or physical, psychological, everything gets geared up to getting into that mood of sleep, and then you sleep. In the same way, chintyam eva. Unless you take yourself to that point of attention where it is no more anything to do with our physical reality, mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am not the memory. I am not the ego. Na jasrotra jihve na chagrana netre. I am not the ears, nose, tongue, skin. Na chavyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu. Right? Not the earth, not the water, not the air, not the fire, not the space. Then what? Chidananda Rupaha Shivo. So that Shivoham idi Chintyam, which is not anything that of the physical reality. Naiva Chintyam Nacha Chintyam 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 eva tat. Then what is that final result of this? This is best for meditation. जो नहीं सोचना है, नहीं सोचो. So because we all the time think about what we should not think about only. It's like that, no? The story. One Raja was there and he was losing hair. So he announced, I will give you one bag full of gold to anybody who can regrow my hair, who can help me regrow my hair. So, but if it doesn't grow, the head will be cut off of that person. So nobody would be ready to take that risk. So everybody was hesitant what to say to this king. One young man came and said, I have a solution for you. But there are conditions also. Air conditions. Hair conditions. What is hair conditioner? What is it? I will tell you how you can grow your hair. I have a special oil for that. Very good. But I will only apply to you. I will be there when you are applying to yourself. Early morning, every day for 15 days. You should apply just before sunrise on your head, and miracle will happen. But I will have to be there to make sure that you are doing the right thing. Simple. So I will have to stay in the palace to make sure that this is being done. And during the day I have to monitor also certain things. Then everything will be fine. No problem. There are one more instruction that I will tell you later on. Right. So this fellow boy was given a beautiful accommodation, and he stayed in the palace. Next morning, early morning, before the sunrise, the king came. Cup full of oil he kept in front of him. Said, now you can apply. Today onwards, 15 days, everything will be fine. But before you apply that, before you even touch the oil, you should not think about a red-faced monkey. And if you think of a red-faced monkey, whole day you cannot apply it. So before touching that, don't think about red-faced monkey. And he showed that red-faced monkey picture also. This is how it looks. Look at carefully. This is what you should not think about. Kept it aside. King closed his head, immediately red-faced. Time up. Tomorrow only we should start. This is not. No, sun has risen, so you cannot do anything about it. Next day also. So, you know what you should not think about, right? Not. Every day went by, he couldn't do it. He understood this fellow is smart. He is enjoying the palace, eating everything. So what you should not think about when it is told. Another one joke comes to my mind. One lady was going in the street and there was a pet shop. Pet shop, there is a parrot. And that parrot first looked at her and said, "You are so ugly." She got so upset. What? I said, "You are so ugly." She got very upset and then red-faced she went. When she was coming back from work on the same street, again the parrot said, "You are so ugly." She really got irritated. She had she looked at very angrily and went away. Next day morning, she had to go in that road only. That fellow said, "You're so ugly." So she went into the shop and got hold of that owner. Next time this fellow makes, what it is, doesn't matter. If he makes a comment, I will really complain to the police and get him out of it. So what did he say? You don't need to know about it. Ask him to take it out of that shop and put it somewhere behind. No, I will take care of it, don't worry. So, the evening she was coming back. The parrot was there. It was not saying anything. So she looked at the parrot. You know. So, na chintyam. So, what we do not want to think about comes to us again and again and again and again. Mind is like that. So then, what is it then? Naiva chintyam as a desirable object. Then nacha achintyam. Do not think about things that you feel like not thinking about. But what is the nature of Paramatma? What is that? Na chintyam Paramatma. It cannot be an object, can be thought of. But at the same time, unless you are capable of, unless you keep your mind continuously on that, yato nischaradi manaschanchalamastiram tatastato niyam etad atmanyeva vasham nayet. Keep it there. Then only you can reach that point. Wherever the river goes, it knows the destination. Right? It cannot but go to the destination. Because it is all the time, from the time it has started, it is constantly moving towards the direction where the ocean is. So many deviations will be there, but he knows exactly where to go. So in the same way here, that very one which cannot be thought of should be thought of. That's why he said, Tat. Chintyameva what? Tat chintyameva. Tat means Atmanam. That which is Tatvamasi, in that which is referred as Tat, is that absolute self, that one, Chintyameva, to be thought of. Then what is that? The result of that? Pakshapada vinirmuktam Brahma sampatyate tada. Tada then, sampatyate prapnoti, obtains, is obtained. Brahma sampatyate is passive. Brahma is tena sampatyate, is reached. By whom? By the one who follows this. What did he reach? What does he reach? Brahman. And what is that? Pakshapada vinirmuktam Brahma. Dvandva vinirmuktam Brahma. Pakshapada means taking side. Paksha means side. Pakshapada means one which takes side, meaning either this way, dharma or adharma, punya or papa. These are all in the relative plane only. In the absolute plane, pratyacharpata virajita kandaha punya vivarjita pantaha. In Bhajagovindam he says that the man of such knowledge is one who may be wearing a very shabby clothes, but he walks the path which is neither papa or punya. Punya apunya vivarjita pandaha. So for a person who has gained that absolute reality as his nature, realize that he may live in this world where there will be good, bad, right, wrong, dharma, dharma, everything will be there. But from his standpoint, his vision is that one is there only in the presence of the other. Darkness, when you say, it is relative to light, as I said before. Everything is relative only. Good, bad, healthy, unhealthy, joy, sorrow, success, failure, birth and death. From his standpoint, from his vision, they are all related to each other. If Ravana nahi hai, to Ram katha kahan se bhi? राम की कथा क्या है फिर? Ravan, villain is not there. When that is the first Bollywood story that started. And it continued over the period of so many years, the same story only. A hero is a hero only when there is a villain. So therefore here, the nature of Brahman is what? Pakshapada Vinirmuktam. Nirmuktam. Visheshena Nirmuktam. Nischayena. That which is fully devoid of the nature of the realities, that which is fully devoid of the dualities. And that Brahma, that Brahman, sampatyate. Is it neither jnanam nor ajnanam? It is awareness. Awareness is neither jnanam nor ajnanam. Because you are aware of both. Are you aware of what you don't know? Yes. But you are aware of what you know? Yes. Then, what is awareness then? Is it jnanam or ajnanam? It is neither that. Neither knowledge nor ignorance. So even ignorant person is also aware. You cannot say ignorant person is not aware. He is aware. What? That he doesn't know. Or he may not even know that he doesn't know, but he is aware. So that awareness is irrespective of what one knows, what one does not know. Similarly, in all aspects also, Brahma is Pakshapada Vinirmuktam. Okay, understood. The Shishya says, all right, I understood. Now tell me about sadhana. Until this point, you only talked about the knowledge part of it, philosophy part of it. Now I want to know about what should be done. How do I get trained to go there? Now it is the point of what needs to be done from the standpoint of the Vedic teachings. Vedic teachings are not about the Murti Upasana. Murti Upasana came much later. Though it is very helpful for people for keeping a focused attention on a physical form that represents supreme reality, that is Brahman. But here it is in the form of Akshara, Omkara Upasana. So we see here in the next verse, verse number 7. Swarena sandayet yogam Aswaram bhavayet param Asvarenanubhavena Bhavo va bhava ishyate Swarena sandayet yogam Aswaram bhavayet param Asvarenanubhavena Bhavo va bhava ishyate. Yogam sandayet. Yogam with Brahman. Yogam. Yogam is yog. Yuj. The word means to unite, to connect. Karmana yogam, karma yoga. Bhaktya yogam, bhakti yoga. Right? Jnanena yogam, jnana yoga. So with the use of knowledge you unite with the self, that is jnana yoga. With the help of devotion you unite with that same thing, it is bhakti. With karma, then it's karma yoga. But here, what he says is dhyanam, meditation. And the meditation begins with Shabdhana Vidya Savikalpa Samadhi. Yeah. Shabdhanuvidya, Shabda Anuvidya, along with the help of sound. So that is why it says Swarena, Shabdena. What's Shabda here? Swara here means Omkara Swarena. With the help of Om, because Om represents the absolute reality according to the Vedas. Om iti idakam sarvam. Om iti Brahma. Om iti Brahma. That Om. But that is considered as the sound symbol for the absolute reality. So here it is Swarena Sandayet Yogam first. Very interesting thing is, Sandayet, how do I unite with the sound? One may wonder. What needs to be united with sound? Sound we hear. If somebody is talking or somebody is chanting, you obviously hear the sound. But what is that which you unite with? Your mind. Isn't it? Your mind is what is getting united with that. Sound is not heard by only the ears. Ears are only for getting that sound vibration. But what actually is listening is the mind. So many times people sing, but they don't listen to what they sing. And sometimes it is so horrible, they don't know that. Others have to suffer that. Or even chanting. Oh. The chanting goes on at such a speed, So even the Bhagavan wonders, what are you talking? So, here, so we need to understand that mind is that which is to be sandayet. Swarena manas sandayet. Keep the mind united with the self. With the help of this sound. All right. Now, what is the reason why Om is used? It is said in the Mundaka Upanishad beautifully, Dhanurgrihitvopanishadam mahastram sharam upasanishidam sandayita. Same word, sandayit. Ayamya tadbhavagatena chetasa laksham tadevaksharam somya vidhi. You are familiar with how an archery is practiced. What do? You take the bow and then put the arrow, right? And then release after stretching it well and release the arrow. Looking at the target. You cannot put it somewhere else. So first of all, which is the target you have to remember. Then take your bow, place the arrow, face the target and release. Even when you are taking a car, you should know target is the target. And then only you put it in the GPS. I want to go to the nearest target. So that's why they put the round. The central point. So you can also put Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, right there. So actually they have taken that Panchakosha Vivek only, that target, that symbol. So, or Stula Shariram, I think 3 reels are there. You can tell the ECE of target. This is Shariratraya Vibhaga. Sthula Sukshma Karan Sharir, right there in middle. Here it is Dhanur Grihitva. What is the Dhanuhu here? Upanishadam Mahastram Dhanuhu. Upanishadam Dhanuhu. Sorry. Upanishadaha Vakyam. Upanishads, whatever is given in the Upanishad, that supreme reality is the Dhanuhu. The indicator of that supreme reality, Om. So, Omkaram eva Dhanuhu. Mahastram. Ksharam. Ksharam is Mahastram. The arrow is a great weapon. Dhanuhu or the bow is not a weapon. Bow is only a holder of the weapon. Like gun is not a killer. The bullet is a killer. Isn't it? Because that as in Sanskrit means to throw. As, to throw. Astra. What does it mean? That which is released, thrown. Astra means thrown. Astra. Shastra means not thrown, held in the hand, like a sword. A sword or a knife, when you are using, it is called shastram. Not shastram. Shastram. When it is thrown, it is called astram. Brahmastram is an arrow. Nagastram. It is released. And then what is released is what is going to attack, not the one which is held in the hand. So, what is the astram here? Sharam. The arrow. What is the sharam? Your mind. Your mind is the arrow, and upasa nishitam sharam. Upasa nishitam saram. Sharam, this mind of yours is sharpened. Nishitam means sharpened. Upasa nishitam. Upasanaya nishitam. With the practice of your puja and other things, your mind has become sharp. And only a sharp arrow can really reach the target. If a blunt arrow you put, it goes there and it will fall down. All the bullets, etc., are a sharp point, because they have to go and penetrate. So here, take the Om as your bow, which is found in the Upanishad, and take the arrow of your mind, which is sharpened by your practice of Upasana. Sandayita. Take the arrow and Sandayita. Unite it with, or place it on the bow. Then what you should do? What you should do then? Ayamya. Stretching yourself. Tadbhavagatena chetasa. Tadbhava. Keeping that alone as your goal. Tadbhavagatena. With that mind going there. Chetasa. Lakshyam tadeva aksharam. Lakshyam is what? Aksharam Brahma. That alone. Vidhi. Pierce. That's why our retreat center in Northern California is known as PRC. Where you pierce. Pierce means what? The arrow should go there and go and become one with that. The arrow and the target will be no more different. Similarly, you take the Om as the bow, keep your mind, sharpened mind on that, place it, and then Ayam yatad bhavagatena, chant, thinking about Brahman only. With that, then release your mind. Of course, you have to release the arrow. What is the mean? Release the mind. After having chanted Om, stop. Draw the mind with the Om and bring to silence and let go. That's why in this verse you see Aswaram Bhave Param. Param afterwards. Aswaram. Swaram first is Swarena Sandayet. First chant Om. Then what you should do? Don't say Om, 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 Om. No. Om. Stop. It's called Aswaram. Aswaram does not mean wrong note. Apaswaram nahi. Apaswaram nahi. Aswar. Swara, Swara is what? Sound, music note. Sometimes people say Swara only. Swara. So once Guruji was giving a lecture. Before that, he was singing some bhajans. And I was there in the front, few of us. I was there with my students in Siddhabari. So with Bhagavatam, he was doing. And he started to sing, and others who were there was horribly singing. And their tala was also not correct. So Swamiji stopped in between, and in Sanskrit he said, Atra janaha asuraha vetalaha. Asura means no sura. No tala means betala. So only few people understood what it really means. Because those who are not putting the tala correctly, what are they called? Betala. And those who are not singing in suras, but asura. So here, Aswaram bhavayet param. Think of that Brahman as one which is beyond the Swara. So Om is representing no doubt Brahman, but the real nature of Brahman is no characteristics. Aswarena anubhavena, by that realization of that which cannot be really indicated by any words, any sound. Bhavo abhava ishyate. What is abhava? This way we can put it both ways. What is abhava? Earlier what is not known become bhava. Earlier what is known, bhava, become abhava. Meaning, earlier the effects of the ignorance which is continuously was there, that becomes what was bhava earlier was present in us as ignorance and its effects, avidya, and also tat karya. So all those which are the effects of ignorance become abhava. And what was abhava before? Atman become bhava. Bhavo abhava ishyate. Ishyate it becomes. Now, in another place, in the same Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, the same, Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma brahma tad lakshamuchyate apramattena vedhavyam sharavat tanmayo bhavet. So it said, Pranavaha dhanuhu, sharaha atma. Sharaha atma means mana here. Pranava, your own soul. Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma brahma tat lakshamuchyate. Your laksham is Brahman. Apramattena, without making any error. Vedhavyam, to be pierced. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet. Like the arrow becomes one with the target, tadmayo bhavet, atmavayo bhavet. Now, interesting thing is, this Om, according to Mandukya Upanishad, has got 4 quarters. 4 quarters. You know, anything can be divided into 4 25%, 25, 25. 4 quarters. A dollar is also, what? I don't know about the other quarters, I have no idea about those things, but I know. I say the quarter, I don't know about that. But so, quarter means 25 cents. For $1 is made into 4 parts. Similarly, apparently when you look at it, our own experience as such, presently, we only are experiencing ourselves as a 3/4. What is that? Waking, dream and sleep. This is all we know. The 4th quarter actually is present, which we don't know. Presently we don't know. So waking we know, most of us are there, not all of us, but most, so waking. That we know, fully aware. Dream also we know. Sleep of course we have been experiencing. But beyond the sleep there is one more which is called Chaturtham, 4th. That 4th is called 4th only with respect to these 3. Actually the 4th one pervades all the 3 also. So according to Mandukya Upanishad, सोयमात्मा अभ्यक्षरम् ओंकारो अधिमात्रम् पादामात्राः मात्राश्च पादाः अकारो उकारो मकार इति. Ayam Atma, this very self, Abhyaksharam, Omkaraha. And this is also referred in the Vedas as represented by Om, Akshara. Adimatram Pada Matraha. It is beyond the Matra. Meaning, Matra means measure. A measure is called Matra. In Tamil, Matra means a pill. There is also a measure. A particular dose of medicine only is given to you. That's why it's called Matra. So, the three matras are there, but Adimatra, meaning it's beyond the Matra, is what's called Amatra. But it is presently, we can understand only as the fourth aspect, which is not waking, which is not dream, which is not sleep. Then what it is? It's something else. Then it is a fourth stage when we say. It is not something which is absent, but which is reference to the three, it is considered as the fourth. In the same way, A, U and Ma, which constitute Om, not chanting is the fourth one. Understand? The gap you give between next to Om and the previous Om, that is the fourth. So there are three witnesses, and one is a silent witness. So the fourth one is there, but he doesn't say anything. He's also there, present. In the same way here, so Adimatraha, Matrascha Padaha. See, these matras are the padas. Akara, Ukara, Makara iti. A, U and Ma. So this is why it is considered, Om is considered as a representative of the state of being of all of us, which we are all going through the same experience every day. Not only human, all other living beings also. So now, first one, Jagradisthane, at the time of Jagrat, Vaishwanaraha Akaraha, it's called Vaishwanara. See, our own personality is divided into three parts, according to Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Sharira. Sthula Sharira is where we are completely in the waking state, we are using the physical body. In the dream state, this physical body is not used. Our mind and intellect and ahankar and ego and memory, they are more active than the body. And then in the state of sleep, neither the body nor the antakarana, sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, both are given up and get into the karana sharira. Our attention, awareness is present there. So at the stage when we are in the waking state, we are referred as Vaishwanaraha. Vishwanara. Vaishwanaraha. Because that is when Vaishwanara is also very active. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deha. We saw in 15th chapter. When are you hungry? Your hunger is experienced when? Hunger means what? Not only physical hunger of eating food. Hunger means all sense appetites. When do you want to see, hear, taste, smell, touch? When is that? Waking state. All senses are awake. What do they want? Give, 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 give. I want to experience it. Therefore, at that stage, the consciousness associated with the physical body is given a name, Vaishwanaraha. Jagaridasthane, at the waking state, Vaishwanaraha Akaraha Pratama Matraha. It's a first matra. Pratama Matra. Apter Adimatvat va apnodi havai sarvan kaman adischa bhavadi evam Veda. See, it is said, when a person, while chanting Om, if such a person concentrates only on the sound A, You have a choice of where you want to focus your attention. When he concentrates only which is referred as the Vaishvanara Sthiti, then such a person, will get all the desires fulfilled. Sarvan kaman adischa bhavati. Also, he would get associated with the one which is the beginning of the universe. This is said by the Upanishads. So there are people who will meditate Om, all right, but they meditate upon the A matra. A. See, what it really means is, in our practical terms, a person, in nowadays, you see, people hardly sleep. Everybody is working 18 hours, 19 hours, 16 days. And even sleep also, hardly they sleep. Because even sleeping, they're thinking about what is the Hong Kong market is open now. Chinese market is open now. The mind is not rest. Physically you are resting, mind is still going on and on and on, and then out of tiredness for probably maybe an hour max, again, lucid dream, and then again get up. Within 40-45, body is gone, finished. So when a person is physically so aware and wanting to, indulge or not indulge, but to experience the world more and more in terms of money, name, and then a comfort, this and that, constantly working, what does that person would get then? No doubt he will get what he wants. Sarvan kaman. In the same way, those who are, even the meditators who are more interested in physical realities, the Upanishad says you will get that if you are meditating only on akar. Attains fulfillment, all desires, become the first and foremost among all. What does it mean? A person who is so interested to engage and do the best in the waking world, obviously he will be foremost among all others, compared to all others who are sleeping, probably. So any success comes only when you focus on what you want to achieve. So in the same way, a person who is meditating upon the A matra in the Omkara will obtain the state of Virat. Virat. Because Virat is the same consciousness associated with the total body, total gross body. Like we are associated with the physical single body, we are referred as Vaishvanara. When it is the same consciousness associated with the entire cosmic body, becomes Virat. Vividam rajate iti Virat. The word comes from that which shines in all splendor. That's why Bhagavan also showed. Look at my Virat Swarupa. Meaning what? I am everything. I am the beginning and the end of everything. So this is what is said in the Mandukya Upanishad. Then comes U. U is representing our Swapna Sthiti. Swapna Sthiti means where a person has withdrawn from the world, waking world, and has gone into a world created by the mind itself. Swapnasthanaha Taijasa. And there the individual is referred as Tejas. Why Tejas? Because Tejaha, the word means brilliance. And where is our brilliance? From our mind, from our buddhi, from our memory. A person who has memory also is very bright, because such a person won't forget things. Tejas. And also Ahankar. Ahankar here does not mean in the negative sense. Ahankar means one who has strong willpower. You have to get it done. So there the mind, intellect, memory and Ahankar are very active. Leaving aside the body, it's called Tejas. Swapnasthana Tejasa Ukaro Dvitiya Matraha. This is a Dviya Matra. Then it is called the second Matra. Utkarshad, Matra Utkarshad, Ubayatvat, Utkarshati Havai. See, it is between A and Who is between A and U? Meaning what? You are neither awake nor asleep. You are neither awake to the world nor you are totally unavailable. Twilight zone. You are in between. You are experiencing. You are also hearing something. You are also smelling. You are also walking. You are also talking. Sometimes you are outside also talk. But in the dream you are doing all these things, but not with the waking world. Not that you are asleep. So it is called Ubaya, between the two. Utkarshad, Ubayatvat, Utkarshati Havai. Which is to say, such a person who has this ability to meditate upon the U of the Om, such a person becomes a man of knowledge. Earlier the person became man of prosperity. Now U, when you meditate on, the person becomes a man of knowledge. And such a person alone becomes a teacher who can guide others. Because teaching is what? To the people who do not know, you are taking them to what you know. You are in between, right? A teacher is between what? A student who does not know to knowledge. So such a person becomes a connecting link. Like U, which is a connecting link between waking and sleep. And in the chanting, U is the connecting link between A and In the same way, this person becomes a person of knowledge who can connect the links between the teacher, between the taught and the knowledge. Jnana santatim samanascha. Jnana santati. He becomes a person of traditional. He creates a tradition of knowledge. Bhavati na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati ya evam Veda. It is said, in his family, nobody will be absent of this knowledge of Brahman. One who meditates on the U will become a man of knowledge. In his family, nobody will become a Brahmavid. One who does not know Brahman. So that is the blessings of this knowledge. Because one who knows Brahman, not only he benefits out of it, the entire family benefits out of this. 7 generations become blessed by that. Jnana santim samanascha bhavati na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati sa evam Veda. So and the U is neither opening fully the mouth nor closing, right? U. When you say it is complete opening of the mouth. Close the mouth. But what is this? U. U is the in-between stage, where you are neither open nor closed. Meaning what? You are neither fully involved in the world, nor you are lost in samadhi. You alone can be a teacher. Teacher is where samadhi. Then what you teach? Arey bhai, kuch batao. Not available. Or is fully worldly. And then he has been lost. He has no connection with the Brahman only. How will he teach? So he must be one who is aware of what is going on, but at the same time not lost. He is not lost in samadhi also. Then he cannot teach. So that's why it's U. Then comes Ma. Ma is where what is that? Ma is the closing of the mouth. Sushuptistanaha, Sushuptastanaha, Prajnaha, Makaraha, Tritiya Matra. The third matra is What does means? Huh? Sleeping. So in that sleep, Sushuptasthana. So at that time, the consciousness associated with Anandamaya Kosha is referred as Prajna. Prayena Ajna. In general, ignorant. Meaning what? It is not aware of anything going on. But Prajna also means it is very close to Brahman. Because there is no interruptions. Mind is not there, intellect is not there, ego is not there, memory of things of the world is not there. Physical body one is not disturbed. But close proximity of Brahman. So therefore, Prajna, Makaraha Tritiya Matra, Mitehe Apiterva. So, mita and amite, measurable and apita. Apita means, it is said that when the entire creation is subject to dissolution, it goes to Ishwara. Meaning, everything is get merged into him. That's why Bhagavan Shankara is what called as Mrityum Jaya. Not only that, Mrityukaraha also. He is the one who brings an end, dissolution of things. What does it mean? Everything gets into him. Sarvam leenam gacchati. Tasmat lingaha. What the word linga means? Leenam gacchati sarvam yasmin. Everything gets merged into him. So that very Ishwaraha, who is apitaha, means in whom everything merges, from whom everything comes out also. Apita, merged. So waking and dream, both of them, waker and dreamer, are merged into that state of sleep. So such a person, minoti hava idam sarvam apitascha bhavati. Such a person, Minoti means one who is capable, means one who can measure everything. One who can measure everything means what? One who is capable of knowing everything in its exact nature. Why are they? I think they become restless when it becomes 9:30. So, Minoti means one who's miyate, one who is able to measure everything in its right perspective. Such a person. And apitaha means one who is able to release all of them also. Pita means to drink. Apita means not to drink, bring it out. To egg out, to release. Api-ita. So, here, such a person, the one who is able to meditate on minoti hava idam sarvam apitas chabavadi evam veda. Meaning, he gets merged into the Ishvara, the total controller of things, the Lord. So remember, first one is prosperity, second one is becoming a teacher, third one is become Ishvara, one who is associated with the manifested God form. He becomes associated with the entire creation, connected to the Lord. Then comes meditation on silence. What happens to that? That we'll see in the next class. We'll learn to be silent until then. So very interesting that why that aswara bhavet param. That's why I'm trying to explain. Why swara? You have to sandayet and then aswaram. That aswaram is where it will take you to the next level. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Next week, next week